Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to United Kingdom Wrestling YouTube channel. This motherfucker's laughing. It's all good. We're gonna keep going. I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Dakota.
Hello, people. It's good to hear from the
Today,
UKW to hear me.
yeah, today we're interviewing the guy to our left. Because usually he's the one doing all these interviews. Usually he's the one asking all these questions, whether it be to me, Dakota, Shannon, Ace, um, or not Ace, Whistler,
Ace Whistler, yeah.
um, Ace Whistler, yeah, Shane, Coltrane. But today, we're the ones asking him.
The big
So
man.
first,
Big
how are
man.
you today, sir?
Hi, bro.
No, like you're the big. No, he's like the big man. He's the big dude. He's like the boss. He's fucking Vince McMahon of
Hey,
UKW.
no,
The big
I'm
man.
not. No, I'm
No,
not.
wait. Okay, he's like Triple H of UKW. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
He's Triple H, everybody. Not literally big man. He's the top dog.
This is God. This
is what I'm gonna
This
say.
has been hella
Listen,
shit.
ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing wrong. It's just I was trying to say top dog here. All right. Now that we got that through, Valente, do you want to follow through with your question to the big dog?
Yeah, I was trying to ask how he was. So how are you?
I'm good. I would appreciate not being called Vince McMahon if that could happen.
Yeah, I say shit and I don't realize after the fact that how bad that was. All right. Let's get into the first question. Valente, what would your first question be to the big dog?
So first, man, you always start off with this. You ask everybody, how did you become a fan of pro wrestling, and what game got you started in the wrestling, gaming community?
Okay, so I'll say I have a very unique story about getting into wrestling. My story. So I'll go with the TV, like with the watching first, like how I got into watching wrestling and stuff like that. So my dad was a massive WCW fan, like massive. So, and the true natural shift, and anybody can say this, the natural shift from WCW to TNA was definitely there. So he was a massive TNA fan too. So I started watching TNA with him. So when we were watching TNA together, and I do understand, and my memory's a bit hazy. Maybe I saw some WWE stuff early on first, but my vivid memories of actual matches and storylines and people I could really get behind as characters and stuff is TNA. One, and I still do believe to this day, that 2008 to 2013, 2014 period is some of the peak wrestling we ever got in like wrestling TV. That TNA, those matches, truly to me, created some of my favorite like stories, stuff like that. Some of my favorite characters, some of my favorite in-ring workers I still love to this day. A Double Austin Aries, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, James Storm, some guys that I can still get behind today. So that, but as far as the games are concerned, me and my sister owned a PS2 and she had SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. And we played that game every Saturday and Sunday. We would come to my dad's. We played that game religiously, dude. And this is before I even knew like who was even on the game, because I wasn't even alive when the people that were on the game were. Well, I was alive, but I wasn't watching when people that were on the game were actually like wrestling. So like one of my favorite wrestlers that drew all my attention when I was playing that game was Ultimo Dragon, because of the cool costume and cool outfit and the mask and everything. It just like, as a young kid, as like a 4 or 5 year old, that's the guy that drew my attention. Him and Ray were who drew my attention very early on.
Kind of look like superheroes a little
bit.
Yeah.
They're who drew my attention very early on. But I remember the first game I avidly played, start to finish, is SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. The Undertaker storyline, the original Beat the Streak story before 2K14, as well as the Christian Return Road to WrestleMania, where that was his first year back in a WWE game after he had went to TNA and came back.
Yep.
So all that, like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, but probably my favorite WWE game, my favorite wrestling game in general, has got to be WWE 12. Like that, sitting down playing that game has so many like nostalgic memories for me with the Sheamus storyline, the Triple H story, and as well as the Jacob Cass WCW story. And not only like those stories individual, because like in the Road to WrestleMania, in the previous games, you'd play through one and they had no correlation to the other ones. But
right.
In WWE 12, you played through 3 WrestleMania years. So you played through Sheamus' story, that was a whole year. Then you played through Triple H's story, that was also a whole year. And then you played through the Jacob Cass story, which was also a whole year. And not to mention, Jacob Cass was also voiced by one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Austin Aries. So, it was...
I actually didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so I actually, like... It's really cool looking back on. And...
Yeah. I know how much you love Austin Aries, because it wasn't the other day you were showing me highlights of Austin Aries in TNA and what they did to him in WWE wasn't right and how good he was, and he was just laughing up a storm. He loves some Austin Aries.
And like it's there were negative factors for both parties in that like when you get to the big show, when you get to WWE, you have to be understandable with the booking and stuff. You can't be throwing fits backstage and be pissed off because of where you're being booked. But also, you got to understand that Austin felt like A-Double felt like he was a bigger star than what they had portrayed him. And like you can see that like when Triple H had him in NXT, A-Double Austin Aries was presented as Austin Aries. He was presented as one of the best wrestlers on the planet. When he went to WWE, they put him right in the cruiserweight division, and it was just not a good place for him. So, some absolute banger matches with Neville. Let's not differentiate and say that his complete WWE career was a wash. Those 3 matches are fucking excellent, but like
didn't he fuck his eye up in a match?
No, Nakamura. Yeah. That's what fucked up his NXT run. That's the whole reason he got called up so early. He wasn't supposed to get called up to WWE yet. He got called up because he was doing commentary while his eye was still messed up. That's actually a really good pull from you, Valente. I forgot about that. Holy hell. Because he probably would have never got called up that early if he... And they put the motherfucker on commentary. You want to know why they put the motherfucker on commentary? Because he was one of the best talkers in the company. Very like CM Punk-esque. But nah, CM Punk wins the WWE Championship. Austin Aries gets buried by fucking Neville. Good job. Round of applause.
They put Wade Barrett on commentary now.
Wade Barrett is on commentary.
All right, what's the next question y'all got for me, buddy?
Well, this is my question. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it out to you, big man. This is probably what everybody he's going. What? You're the top dog, bro. UKW created by you. UKW. It's a big love from everybody here. My lord, he's in a strip. He's stripping right now. He's got the lights going. But the question I got going on right now. See, even the lights know, guys. We love it. Okay. So this is probably the big question, and that everybody wants to know. At least I want to know. I think I already do know, but I want to know again. How did you get into YouTube and your story with UKW?
Oh my god. Okay. So we'll go into how I got into YouTube first. So y'all might not know this fact about me because Valente and Dakota have been friends with me for years. Y'all might not know this fact, but I was making like wrestling shows with action figures before I even started YouTube. I would record them on my on an old laptop webcam that would then download them onto a CD and we could play them in the DVD player. So what I would do is I would record matches with my action figures.
Yeah.
I would record matches with my action figures, get them onto the CDs, and when we would go to like family reunions or Christmases or Halloweens or whatever, I would show them to the family and like that was like what I was building the matches for, and we would build like storylines and shit like that, and like
Yeah.
that was really cool to me. That was
So you were doing like WSC, like I don't know if you know, like those action figure wrestling like matches.
no, he does stop motion. So what he does, you don't see the hands.
Yeah.
He does like where
That's
he'll
cool.
place an action figure there, take a record a bit, place a picture there.
Mhm.
The amount of work, I'm gonna make this is gonna be a video right here. The amount of work that goes into WSC stage creators videos, ain't no fucking way, dude.
It's big.
No,
Yeah.
because like
Because I used to watch him when I
because
was
he
getting into
does
wrestling and
stop
figures.
motion, so that means he has to put his the action figure down, take a picture, put the action figure down, take a picture, put an action, and then once the video gets done, he puts it all together, and it's the video.
Frame is the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's no fucking way that no. The amount of precision and video skill you need for that is next level. So, as far as like besides that, how I first got into YouTube, I never really saw myself as a person that was gonna do YouTube like the wrestling route. Like, cause growing up, I liked wrestling YouTube content creators, but I was way more into like let's play stuff and stuff like that. It wasn't until I really started getting involved with MathWiz, seeing her stuff and seeing the stuff with Murf and seeing the stuff with people like Brendan Plays, seeing the stuff with those guys, and even nowadays, and seeing the stuff early on in my WWE 2K experience, like when I was creating universe modes very early on, Valente introduced me to FAM, and that really like showed me what we could do. And I believe it was after that, maybe before that, I had created UKW because there was a brand on Wrestling Revolution 3D. Or actually, no, Wrestling Revolution, this was before Wrestling Revolution 3D came out. This was Wrestling Revolution 2D. And there was a brand called United Kingdom Wrestling. So we made that on to 2K16 maybe. But it had like real live guys in it, like AJ Styles, King Cuerno at the time, who is the modern day Santos Escobar, guys like that.
Yeah. No like custom guys other than, our customs maybe.
No, I don't even think early on, no, because I don't even think TD was made yet. This is this was before I met y'all. I didn't make TD. Yeah. The only reason I made we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But the idea behind all of that was like, I just really wanted to make a wrestling show. I was really into wrestling at the time. I really just wanted to make a wrestling show. It wasn't until I'll say we were all of us and some of our old friends were really involved in the WWE 2K competitive scene. So it wasn't until like everybody started making their own characters, and we started doing like competitive stuff. I was like, we could put this into a show, and like if we did WWE style, like booking it, because and this is why I'm glad I have both of y'all here now, is because originally when we were going to start doing UKW with all of our calls, we wanted it to be simulation based.
Yeah,
y'all did.
And we did it, but at least we did. Yeah, you didn't. But we did it. We did one before. It didn't really work out that well. It was a terrible idea.
No, because when you think about it, you can, and it's very much the UFC element. This is why UFC, you really can't build superstars.
No.
Because like this is the whole reason Vince didn't buy UFC back when Shane wanted him to years ago. His exact statement was, when you're doing something real, you can't build a superstar out of it. Yeah, you could say...
Not really. I mean, you can't build the superstar. They built themselves.
That's what I'm saying. If you say for example, you want, okay, perfect example, the WWE Brawl for All. They did a shoot boxing tournament in WWE.
I remember that.
In the
I saw that
1990s.
on the Vice documentary thingy.
In 1990s, they wanted Dan the Beast Severn. I think that's who it was. Dan the Beast Severn. They wanted him to win the tournament. He got knocked out by Bart Gunn. Bart Gunn goes on to win the tournament. Who they didn't want to win. So he wins this big, massive tournament. They never wanted him to win. They keep him off TV for 6 months. Then at WrestleMania, his prize for winning this shoot tournament that they didn't want him to win, they make him fight a legit top heavyweight boxer in Butterbean. And he pieces him. Absolutely pieces him. So, like...
Who pieces who?
Bart got pieced. Butterbean beat the shit out of him. Like, for real. Because, see, the problem with Bart is Bart had, like, one punch power. Like, he could clock it and you were gone. See, because that's what happened with Severn, but when he tried to do that with Butterbean, oh, no, this dude's been hit before. You know? So, like, it didn't work, but it's kind of that you can't build a superstar doing simulation stuff. You can't build stories doing simulation stuff. Because, say, I want Gabriel Cole to be this big, massive heel so he doesn't need to lose, leading to this big title match. But then we book him in a match in a simulation based. He gets squashed by a dude that I didn't even plan to be in a match on the pay-per-view. Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing here? So, like, it doesn't work. Some people can get it and be perfectly fine. What you got to do if you're doing simulation stuff is you have to be okay with sacrificing stories. But I don't even think, like, at that point, that's not professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is all about stories. It's all about the characters and the story arcs. It's not about really much more than that. All right, so what y'all got for me next?
Well, Valente, what's your question?
Next? We kind of already like dove into UKW a little bit, so I want to know what the story is behind Tyler Drake.
Okay, well, that's actually something Valente will get to answer because I don't think we were really around Dakota much at the time when this first happened. But Valente had a car that was named Jay that had like a pizza face. Well, we say pizza face, but it was like a fire texture. And our other friend at the time had a custom character. I didn't have one, so I was just using like normal WWE characters. And they told me to make a call, so I made one. I was playing through the Uncharted series at the time, and I was just a massive fan of Nathan Drake. So I made Tyler Drake, who it wasn't because like there was no connection between the two characters. It was just I was a really big fan of the name and everything. So I made Tyler Drake, and this is very early on. He had like blue trunks, blue boots. This was no gimmick, just generic wrestler superstar type dude.
Not even redneck Drake yet.
No, that's a whole different thing we'll talk about here in a minute. So we played through all that, and like it wasn't until we started getting into the competitive space that like we got asked to join these like online competitive feds, similar to what THW was doing early on, but they weren't recording it. We were just playing stuff. Which, looking back on, somebody should have done what TXW was doing years ago. Somebody should have been recording it and posting it on YouTube. It was actually kind of a really good idea. I really wish, looking back, that somebody would have done that. But anyway. We started making different like gimmicks because like storylines would happen in around like the competitive matches. Like, so I always wanted to switch stuff up with Drake. So there would be these different gimmicks and stuff. But it wasn't until Valente's show with GCW that we did a
Mhm.
story leading to whatever his summer pay-per-view was. I don't think it was kind of SummerSlam. It was something. But we did a storyline leading to his pay-per-view where Ted DiBiase had came out of retirement for one more match, and he wanted to match with me because I was using the $1 Million Dream. And ever since then, we've kind of used the persona of the MVP because,
Mhm.
like, it's kind of like, it's a very, like, $1 Million Man-esque gimmick, but it's kind
Right.
of way more modernized. And I'll say, like, early UKW on this channel was very much still
Mhm.
that $1 Million Man-esque character. I'll say
Mhm.
now the TD that's on Renegade now is a vastly different
Yeah.
character than when we first started. He's grown a lot, like having the power taken away at London Lockdown, having like slowly Primetime Productions break out, like having Luke turn on him. I feel like that has changed a lot of stuff, and we're gonna see. At least I hope. And this is kind of diving into the next question, Valente, of what I really want for Drake over the next year. This is really
Mhm.
diving into. I really want to see more of what a new character arc looks like for TD. Well, what's the next question, Coda? Shoot me. Shoot it, buddy.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Now that we've heard the story behind the great, as we all know, we love the MVP. MVP. I'm gonna say that twice because we talk about it on the daily, and we always hope for something good in the new WWE. So, in this question, it's going to be for you as the main guy who wants to know, and we want to know what you hope for. Is what do you hope for in WWE 2K25?
I have, at this point, we've seen a lot of 2K25. We've seen a lot of what's going to be in the game, what's not going to be in the game. I'm interested a bit to see what the Bloodline rules match really entails, because what I'm hoping is that you're allowed to do like run-ins, because the match description for the Bloodline rules match was you're allowed to do up to 3 run-ins in one match with 3 of your allies. And Valencia, you know, on the Superstar tabs, you're able to list 5 allies. So I'm kind of curious if that means that that'll be better for us production wise if we have a multiple run-in scheduled in one match. We'll be able to do some more interesting stuff with the Bloodline rules match. I'm kind of curious to see how that works and see overall the inner workings of that. I'm really excited for the underground. That I feel like that's going to be a very. I want to see something interesting. I want to see if we can kind of pair that and kind of adjust the match rules with that to see if we can fit it into Pride. I'm gonna be very interested to see if you can like edit a underground match's like rules, make it 2 out of 3 falls, stuff like that. If we could do stuff like that, we're talking about a very like something that's gonna make Pride look very, very good in 2K25.
Yeah,
Now,
and we love the Pride division.
is to be honest, this past Friday on Valor, I genuinely think one of the best matches we've done in a long time in UKW was for the Pride Heavyweight title in the main event.
Lava. Yeah, it was a great match.
Andrews and Slava. So, and I'm excited to see what they do going forward, being that was a time limit draw.
Yeah.
But one thing I think, and this is probably going to be a short anyway. One thing I think people are maybe looking a little bit too much into is the stuff with the branded gear in the My Island. Like, I don't believe 2K is that willing to let down their community with putting. People seem to think that a majority of creation stuff is going to be behind paywalls now. I
No.
don't believe that.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to be
Nah.
just the name branded stuff. So you know how
Yeah.
if you want to make a Nike shirt nowadays, you have to download the Nike logo off of Community Creations, put it on your shirt. There you go. You got a Nike shirt.
Yeah.
But now you're going to be able to play the My Island, unlike a Nike shirt, and just be able to equip it with the actual Nike logo. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that,
Yep.
one, helps out creators, but I feel like, as well, that a lot of COD people aren't going to want to play the My Island, and that's fine. There's going to be a way for COD creators to figure out the new system. The COD community, the COD community survived 2K20, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
If they could survive 2K20, we could figure out what they're gonna do with the island. But
yeah, I don't think they're gonna put it behind any paywalls. I think what they do usually, maybe
So
once
like,
can
think
tell
about
you.
it this way. So one of like the main teasers that they showed was the big red boots.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like the stuff that's locked behind a paywall. Like if y'all play
Yeah.
NBA 2K, you have to buy
That we
your
do.
shoes, you have to buy your jersey
Like-
and everything. So all
Yeah.
that stuff that's in the island, like hoodies, clothes, like street clothes, basically, because I mean that's what it is. Like Jordan, Nike, Under Armour, Puma, stuff like that. That's in the island. Everything else, no.
No. And like the level, they have like a battle pass, and I think that's what people are talking about. And like the level 40 reward is usually what they usually go up to. Would probably be like the Prime mascot from WrestleMania. So stuff like that. I think overall it will be all right. Like you said, if they can survive 2K20, you can survive anything. Damn it.
This is also my showcase with so many people putting down the island. This is my thought process on it. If the island, which is, I would think y'all would say the city is 2K, NBA 2K.
Yeah, it's an exact remake. Yeah.
No, the city
that's
is
basically what they're trying to implant.
No, I get that, but the city is 2K's most popular mode on NBA. Wouldn't y'all agree with that?
Oh yeah, it keeps it alive.
Okay.
It's the only single reason why NBA 2K is still a game.
Okay, so just theoretically, let's put something out. If this new mode brings in just a fraction of the people that play NBA 2K's My City, they start playing the island because it's a very similar mode. Some of them might be wrestling fans that have never played a 2K game.
Let's be honest. Me and Dakota met on NBA 2K. Y'all know this. We've said this a while.
No, 2 months after they met.
The very first thing that we came up with together, like when we thought of things that we wanted in WWE games, we've been saying this since 2K17.
Yeah, we've been literally
need a mode like My Park. Back then it was My Park. My idea before it was like you get to go through because in the park there's like 9 courts. Well, you can WWE brand that, and let's say you run through the performance center because the performance center has 9 rings, so on and so forth. So this is something that we've been wanting for half our lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were under WWE's post. We were like, you got to bring this in, you got to do all of this, and we finally got it.
2K, if you're watching this,
I hope so.
I want my credit.
Yeah, I was gonna say we want our trademark.
No, but this is my main point. Is like, I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, this could bring a lot of viewership to the 2K series, and
it'll give them more budget to make a better game. It'll give them more money.
Now, I understand people's worry with, then all their future focus is going to be on
is the island,
microtransactions and the island and my faction. And that's a genuine concern people might have, like, because you could see with EA.
Also, like, what more could you want out of what we already have?
People want more match types. People want more customization with match types.
Guess what? That falls into what's going to be in the island.
Yeah. Like, people want. I get what you're saying. If they want to add more match types to the island, you're gonna have to add more match types to the base game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
And no, I feel like the island will bring more money in. So every
Like,
year 2K has more budget to make these extra match types and
let's
go
think
over
about it
there.
this way:
Stuff like that.
all of these match types that have been added in were, I won't say because, but I would say they were heavily involved in the My Rise.
mhm,
So like, let's say casket match this past time. You had
mhm,
a casket match against Kane.
mhm.
That was a way to market what they were bringing in.
Yeah.
So I honestly I can see where everybody's coming from, but I honestly just don't believe it. I don't think too far into it because it's another avenue of game.
Yeah.
I think overall it'll be really big for them with adding new, like with being a avenue for new people to be introduced to the series. Because say for example, somebody looks up WWE 2K25 trying to find My City stuff, and they find a
Hmm.
SWW or a UKW.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And they're like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
this is pretty
What
cool.
is this? I've already created my character in my city. Maybe I can recreate the character and use them in
Like,
this.
like
You know?
I don't think people are so worried about them and like for example, um people are making a big deal out of them saying that the image uploader of how that's not going
Yeah.
to be available for the My City. People are
Yeah.
worried that because it's not going to be available for the My City, that it's not going to be available for the base game. People are worried that they're
Yeah.
going to take out the image uploader out of the base game. I don't
No.
think that 2K is willing to piss off their community enough by taking out a key element of it. Because even for like, yeah, I think more than just the universe mode community, more than what we do, use the image uploader. Like,
Mhm.
people, that's a key part to the game for a lot of people. But that's a key part to community creations. There is so much stuff with
Yeah.
community creations that you would not be able to do if there was not an image
Now
uploader.
I do see them maybe censoring it in a way
Well, yeah,
Yeah, they
because
definitely will.
I mean, like, they ban people. They already banned people who post like AEW images sometimes. Like, they ban people who upload "He Who Shall Not Be Named" Chris on community creations. Fuck, they banned status for
posted modded
post like
stuff.
uploading like game file stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're definitely gonna like crack down on a lot of stuff for sure.
They will.
But I just don't see much changing outside of in a bad
Yeah.
way.
I
For
feel like it's
real.
just gonna be a
And
whole of itself
And
of
you
a
know what?
game.
I could be wrong. This is 2K. At the end of the day, we're talking about 2K games. So I
And
don't know.
worst case scenario, let's think about it on a worst case scenario basis. Worst case scenario, WB 2K25 is bad. When WB 2K20 was bad, we went back and found a new love for 2K19, and now for a lot of people, 2K19 is
Mhm.
in their mind voiced as one of the greatest games in the WB series. Period. A lot of people
Yeah.
Yeah.
love that game because of the amount of time we had to spend with it because of 2K20. If 2K25 sucks, which I don't think it will, but if it sucks, 2K23 was a really good. I mean, 2K24 was a really good game. It's for me. I like besides some
Mhm.
mistakes, like in the connection with moves sometimes and stuff like that. Besides that, the game in a base is really solid.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you can really customize really anything you want to do.
Yeah.
So like I'm interested to see how the game works. They're adding a bunch of new innovative stuff. Online GM mode. Uh, my
That's gonna be really fun.
my my island or the island.
Those throwback memories where you can jump off the fist and back and
Yeah,
here
the
comes
new
the pain.
backstage shit like that is gonna be so innovative, and I'm
Pretty sure
interested to.
there's extra backstage areas now too.
Yeah, there's
Yep, the
NXT
NXT backstage.
backstage. There's NXT backstage. The archive, and there are also a lot of people are talking about like being able to do cool stuff with the island too. Like,
Yeah.
being able to use that to maybe take certain shots of like people in front of stores and stuff.
Yeah. Like
And
that would be cool with different stuff on and being
yeah,
able to take we know a lot of people in the call community and even sometimes ourselves we like take cool photos of our character and promote them.
yeah,
And I
shit
feel
like
like with the
that.
island you're gonna get different locations, different
Yeah, and you can
clothes,
use it as like a
stuff like
real
that.
life street.
You want Blackground in a Prime mascot, you gonna get it, you know?
Like, and
I'm sure there's gonna be a prime mascot, right?
Oh yeah, probably level 40 Prime mascot.
and this
I'm
is
getting
what
level 40.
this is what I'm saying too. Like, it gives a new avenue for 2K creators because let's be 100% honest. The game at a base, if you don't make universe mode content, there's not a whole lot to do. Like, My Rise doesn't have a whole lot of replayability. Showcase,
My Rise doesn't have replayability, but now with the island, you're gonna have a lot of playability for other streamers. You know,
you have
I like
playability
to
all
stream.
year. Like,
Yeah, I mean
that's
that's
because
like
they
something
with
said
that you
2K.
that,
don't
because
ever
they,
run out of.
yeah, they said that there's going to be constant live updates and
Mhm.
There are.
weekly challenges and stuff like that. That can, like, for people that don't
Hold
play
on.
My Faction, this is the mode now for people.
Yeah. And think about how, like, when I was a kid, the last actual competitive scene was 2K17. Think how addicted we were to 16 and 17 when that came out, you know? And we haven't had anything since then for at least online.
Well, while we're on the topic of WWE 2K25, I was just going to look because I thought about pre-ordering the game maybe like right now. But one thing I noticed, and I don't know if it was there before, so Cody, you looked at it, you could tell me if it was.
Yeah.
Usually there is like a definitive early access day, right?
Yeah.
Now, except now it says up to 7-day early access. So they're not definitive of what they want to do yet, but it says 7-day early access. Up to
But
7-day early access.
yeah,
Sorry.
I think we've talked about 2K25
Yeah.
for a good bit.
Such an interesting topic.
I think people really just need to sit down, calm down. I understand why people are worried about it, but worst case scenario, just go back to 2K24. If
Yeah.
you don't feel like you can make the content that you're wanting to make on the game, that's fine. People will watch old school 2K stuff. We saw that in 2K20 with people watching 2K19 stuff. People will watch it. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
All right,
You can
who's
always
got
go
the
back
next
and
question? I think it's Valente.
Valente, yeah, Valente.
So let's get back to UKW just a little bit. What is your favorite match, storyline, or moment you've ever done in UKW or for UKW, honestly?
Okay, we'll go from a bit. We'll leave Tyler because I think there's a moment where you got like we've already talked about what I want Tyler to do. Like going forward,
Yeah.
I want to see more of the character development from TD. But
Mhm.
as far as like my favorite story we booked in UKW, I really, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Cure stuff. I'm gonna have to go
I agree.
with the fact that, at least to me, Pinnacle 2 was supposed to be the culmination of a story that we had been building since Bloodsport, the previous. Like, Bloodsport was the first pay per view after Pinnacle 1. I mean, after, not Pinnacle 1, after, Christ. After, give me a second. After, well, Bloodsport. Bloodsport was the pay per view that we had been building from then to Pinnacle 2. And that was a long, long distance. So the fact that we were able to do Pinnacle 2 with Connor Irwin and Shane, eventually we had the idea to do Draven, Connor, and Shane, but because of some creative differences with Draven, the person behind the Draven character, we weren't really able to do that. So
Yep.
I just gritted my teeth, said to hell with it. We'll put it into this the Cure story at Pinnacle 2. We'll have Connor win the International Championship, which was supposed to happen anyway. And we'll build him up as the next future of Valor. Had him be the number 1 overall draft pick by Valor, all that stuff. Then I get a message that Draven wants to come back. He understands that he was not open to different creative ideas, and when he did that, when he sent me the message immediately, because you and Dakota were still very questionable at the moment, but as soon as I got that Discord notification saying that he was interested in coming back, my brain, the gears started rolling, because I was never satisfied with that being how that story ended. I had put too much work into developing it. So when that was the way the story ended, it pissed me off. So me being able to end that Cure story the right way, to me, at Wildcard and that triple threat, and as even though it's still going, and y'all see it Royal Gauntlet. Connor and Draven face each other at Royal Gauntlet, so we'll see what happens at Royal Gauntlet. But that Cure storyline is still going, and hell, we're almost 2 years later, guys, since it started.
Yeah,
so
about 2 years.
So I'm really happy with what we've been able to do with that. Some actual true long distance stuff, and I think that's probably the best story we've ever done.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Mine, if I could think of one, I like the Rogue Abbott Drake story. It was a good story. The London Lockdown Championship story.
I like that
good
too.
one. That doesn't even come close to the Cure.
Team Drake
doesn't come
versus
close to the Cure.
No, Team Drake versus Team Abbott. That also led to the cash in from Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. Yeah.
That too. But that's a great and
what's the next question?
now that we've got through that. Well, this is kind of off the books, UKW. Some of this is actually for Big TD himself.
Put on the TD cap right now.
Yeah, put on the TD cap. Make sure you got it on. So Tyler Drake, where do you see your call? And now that you're in SWW, where do you see your call in SWW a year from now?
My main point in SWW is for people to understand that the most valuable player is absolutely untouchable. Inside 4 pillars and 3 ropes, nobody can go with TD. Nobody can go with the MVP. You could have guys who could say they're expert strikers, who could say they're expert high flyers, who could absolutely say they're expert ground grapplers. TD is a culmination of all 3 styles. And when people need to understand is that on the mic, in the ring, the MVP proves he's the most valuable player. And within this next year, he's also going to prove he's SWW's most valuable player. Just like he's already proved he's UKW's most valuable player.
TD.
Cook.
Big dog. Top dog. We love TD. But that's a good one. Valente, what would you like to take this next one?
It's got an impromptu SWW promo on Creator Insight. All right, I like it.
I like it.
Next up, how has it been to see UKW grow over the last couple of years?
Dude, I'll just talk about the last couple of months since this 2025. We have like, I don't want to get emotional here, but the amount of work that me and Valente have been putting in to make UKW grow, just grinding and grinding and grinding, and just to have Dakota just hop on our coattails, dude, and just
all right, bro. My power goes out for fucking 3 days, and I can't do nothing about it. And now I'm not doing anything, chat. I'm undervalued. If anybody wants to hire me, I'm up for hire.
Yeah, if anybody wants to hire, if anybody wants to hire the most glorious freeloader you've ever seen,
bro, I'm not freeloading. My power goes out for 3 days. 3 days. They wanted me to get up on my house and comp.
Actually, I want to point some stats out to you since you're kind of just keeping this since the start of 2025. We've gained about 92 subscribers just in 2025 alone.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Just throw some stats your way.
It's fucking insane. The watch hours in 2025 is fucking insane. The Shannon podcast
Mhm.
is fucking insane. UKW is straight up putting belt to ass. We're like The Rock in the Cody Rhodes promo. And he's like, you think the show's over? Fuck that. Your storyline? Fuck that. Belt to ass. Like, we are straight up putting belt to ass on the YouTube algorithm right now. And that is because of you guys. That's not because of me. That's not because of Valente sitting in Louisville drinking his slushy right now. That's not because of Dakota sitting in fucking Virginia with freezing balls and his power being out and not putting in no work. That's
Bro. See what I deal with, chat.
That's y'all loving what we do and loving the fact that y'all are straight up putting belt to ass on the YouTube algorithm for UKW right now, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
No,
if y'all think about it, the concept of letting people, tell their own stories and become their own, like,
It's
wrestler in a way.
Dude, I don't care what nobody says. It's one of the best creative outlets in content
Yeah, I mean,
creation.
I see. I'm a part of like a lot of sim leagues where I have like the idea of allowing yourself to be a wrestler when you may or may not be a wrestler is like nuts, right? You get to tell all these stories. You're part of it. All these people are open to talking for themselves. All these people are giving us ideas. All these people are watching every week. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane.
And the
It's
fact,
very.
like,
I was.
well, we'll
Mhm.
get to you real quick, Coda, but the fact
Okay.
that we're actually able to, and I'm not gonna lie, me being in college, Valente going through what he goes through on a day to day, and Dakota freeloading,
Oh my lord.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Like it's really like the fact that we're able to put out a Monday Friday product every week. Like, if somebody in the UKW audience is going through something, or they're depressed, or they're sad, you can count on us. We're gonna have a video out on Monday, no matter fucking what. If I have to calm the shit myself with a broke foot, it's gonna be on there. Friday, we're gonna have a video up. Shit, me and Valente calmed Valor the night before Valor went up. We're calming this the night before this is gonna go up. We're gonna calm Royal Gauntlet straight after this, and then that's gonna go up on Sunday. And then Sunday, after Royal Gauntlet premieres and is over, we're gonna comment the fucking Renegade, and that's gonna go up on Monday. So we are straight up putting belt to ass with y'all. So we really appreciate. We are straight up grinding. And Valente, you said it best yesterday. Yeah, it's a grind, but the grind is worth it because we're gonna get the fruits of our labor very soon when YouTube accepts us into the royal dynasty of belt to ass. So
Yeah. And as he say, as I'm a freeloader, this freeloader climbed the whole pinnacle on his deathbed. This freeloader
hey, bro,
climbed
that's
months
years
of
ago.
recording with
That's
a
years
broken
ago.
arm.
That's it. Oh, you did do
This
that.
freeloader makes the funniest shit in UKW. This freeloader honestly loves the support that everybody gives. And thinking back years ago and started doing this, and it was just a bunch of random stuff and stuff that people didn't know about, and we always thought even we didn't support him at the time. It wasn't like support, but it was more of like,
yeah.
you're just doing this. I mean, like with LAW when he changed the brandings, and I'm changing from UKW to LAW, and then I'm going back to UKW, and we're starting multiple different shows because one show doesn't see success, and to finally be able to see success from doing this and the community that he's built and the community that we have got to be introduced to with the people, the amazing people in the Discord, and to see the watch hours go up, to see the views go up, to see people loving each other and enjoying their calls and us enjoying being with them has been really nice for us. And from deeply through my heart, I really appreciate you guys. And I know Cass does, and I know Valente does, and we love you.
I gotta say something though, because like a lot of people like to throw out they're just looking at statistics. I mean, the statistics is what show, like, the statistics are the final representation of what we're saying right now, right? So
That proves that
we're
y'all are
talking about
interested in
views,
what.
we're talking about views, watch hours, subscribers, all that. Well, subscribers are a representation of people who like what we're doing, right? So I mean, that's great. Views are a representation of people watching what we're doing consistently whenever. And then watch hours is another statistic of just how long
People are willing
I
to
mean,
sit
look,
through.
let me be honest. It's 2025. Majority of people have TikTok, you know,
Red note if you're weird.
what's the word for it? TikTok?
Short.
Attention spans.
Yeah.
hmm So I mean, to see people watching the shit that we put out for an hour long is nuts.
Every
And
episode,
statistics
basically.
are our way to just prove it. You know,
Because every episode is about an
liquefy
hour.
it.
Every episode is about an hour. Like,
hmm
and that just shows how much, not only how much our supporters have supported us, but how much like the community, the call community has accepted UKW.
hmm
Like, because we got some big dogs saying that they see promise in what we do. People that have been in the community
Potential.
for years saying that they see promise in the content we put out. And the fact that that's a thing, the fact that we got guys that have been doing this 15 years, have been absolutely putting the fucking work in. UKW's only been a thing for like 2, and we have been, like, there's been some significant breaks in there because life gets in the way. And
Yeah.
but I'll say this right now, at least for me, and I don't know how Valente and Dakota feel, but I'm fully locked in. I'm locked in 100%.
Yeah.
And because I believe we're at a point that, like, I don't expect us to have a January month like we had this month every month. That's
Every
not
month.
realistic. But
Yeah.
You'd be stupid not to ride the wave of what you just had, though.
what I
You know,
think,
so it's like
I'm
we're at
genuinely
the
locked in,
Mhm.
and I've even said this before. This is so much of a creative outlet for me that I don't see myself ever not doing this channel. This channel is my life and blood from now on. Like, because even if I have to, like, record episodes on the weekends to put them up during the week because I have, like, a job or life going on, I can do that. Now,
Yeah.
we don't know what the future holds for everybody. Like, people could have real life stuff that gets in the way. People could have jobs that get in the way, family that gets in the way. Hell, life gets in the way. That's just realistic.
Yeah.
But
Even people that's watching UKW.
but we're gonna be here. If y'all ever need something to be secure in your life where you know, even though I'm going through a really hard time, something can be there. We're gonna be here every Monday and Friday.
And Friday.
You know
And
what? Forget Monday, Friday. I'm here every day of the week, bro. My DMs are open. Like,
oh
if y'all
yeah.
got some shit you want to talk about, and y'all on the Discord, just hit me up. I'm open to all that.
It's a safe space.
So,
Yeah.
Also,
with that being said,
he needs his DMs open.
Boys,
Um
I think we'll go ahead and I think we'll end it on that. I think I'm really happy with this episode. I think
Okay.
overall, and just because of the content of this episode, I'm gonna put a I'm gonna put a hotline down in the description just for anybody that's going through anything. It's down there.
Yeah.
If y'all ever need anybody to talk to, my DMs are open on Discord. So is Valente's. Dakota won't get back to you, so don't even hit him up.
What you mean?
Actually, no, real shit. This dude has like 11 notifications in his inbox that he hasn't checked.
So
No, I do not. I will get back to you.
So
I'm so undervalued, guys.
So we'll see y'all down the road. This has been your boy Cass.
I'm gonna need to call that
That's
hotline.
Valente. That's Dakota. Bye, guys.